How does one of China's brightest stars seemingly get blacklisted at the peak of her fame, only to emerge more powerful than ever? This is the story of Zhou Dongyu, an actress whose career became entangled in rumors of a mysterious media ban. It's a tale that begins with the sudden censorship of her most daring film and a high-stakes political controversy that forced her to choose sides. We'll uncover how these events created a myth of punishment, while in reality, she was building an unstoppable career. For more deep dives like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. The story of the supposed media ban on Zhou Dongyu doesn't begin with a grand proclamation or a leaked government document. It started with silence. In early 2019, the Chinese film world was buzzing with anticipation for a movie called Better Days. It was poised to be a major international breakout for its director, Derek Tsang, and a career-defining moment for its star, Zhou Dongyu. She was already a household name, known for her youthful energy and acclaimed performances. But this role was different. It was darker, grittier, and tackled the raw, uncomfortable subject of school bullying, a topic often swept under the rug. The film was selected for a prestigious premiere at the Berlin International Film Festival, a sign of its artistic merit and global potential. Everything was set for a triumphant debut on the world stage. Then, just days before the festival, the film was pulled. The official explanation was vague and unconvincing: post-production issues. To anyone familiar with the Chinese entertainment industry, this phrase was a clear signal. It was a well-worn euphemism, a polite fiction used to cover the hand of state censors. Suddenly, the film was in limbo, its future uncertain. Its planned summer release in China was also canceled, and an eerie quiet fell where excited promotion should have been. This abrupt withdrawal was the first seed of the ban narrative. Whispers started online, spreading across social media platforms like Weibo. Why was the film really pulled? Was the depiction of bullying too realistic, too critical of the school system, and by extension, the society that enabled it? And what would happen to its star, Zhou Dongyu? Her face was on the now useless posters, her performance at the heart of the controversial project. In the world of Chinese entertainment, associating with a project deemed problematic by the authorities could have serious consequences. The silence from the film's producers and distributors allowed these speculations to fester and grow. The narrative began to form that Zhou had perhaps flown too close to the sun, her ambition leading her to a project that crossed an invisible red line. For months, the fate of Better Days remained a mystery. Then, in the fall of 2019, as suddenly as it had vanished, it reappeared. The film was given a surprise release date in China, with very little advance warning. The result was explosive. Audiences flocked to see the forbidden film, and it became a massive box office hit. More importantly, it was a critical triumph. The story's powerful message resonated deeply, and Zhou Dongyu's performance was universally praised as a tour de force. She was raw, vulnerable, and fiercely resilient, earning her a slew of Best Actress awards, including the top prize at the Hong Kong Film Awards. The film's success should have squashed any rumors of a ban. An actress at the center of a state-punished project would not be showered with accolades and celebrated on the front pages of entertainment news. Yet, the initial incident had planted a seed of doubt that lingered. The memory of the film's sudden disappearance stuck in the public consciousness. This undercurrent of speculation was reignited nearly 2 years later by a completely different kind of event. One that was not imposed upon her, but was a deliberate choice she made. In March 2021, a major international controversy erupted over allegations of forced labor in the cotton fields of China's Xinjiang region. Several Western brands, including the iconic British luxury house Burberry, issued statements expressing concern and announcing they would no longer source cotton from the area. This triggered a furious nationalist backlash within China. The brands were accused of slandering the country, and a powerful wave of consumer boycotts and celebrity condemnations followed. Zhou Dongyu, who was a brand ambassador for Burberry, was one of the first and most high-profile stars to act. her studio issued a swift, decisive statement announcing the immediate termination of her contract. It was a bold and financially significant move. She was not alone. Dozens of other Chinese celebrities made similar announcements, cutting ties with brands like H&M, Nike, and Adidas. This was not a ban, it was the opposite. It was a public performance of patriotism, a clear alignment with the government's position and the prevailing national mood. Her action was praised on state media and celebrated by the public. She was seen as a role model, a celebrity who put her country's dignity before personal profit. However, for outside observers trying to piece together the narrative of her career, this incident added a layer of confusion. How could an actress who was supposedly on thin ice with the authorities for a controversial film now be a celebrated patriotic figure? The two events, the censorship of Better Days and the public break with Burberry, seemed contradictory. This contradiction is where the myth of the mysterious media ban truly took hold. It was easier to imagine a complex, behind-the-scenes drama of punishment and redemption than to accept the simpler, more nuanced reality. That she had navigated two separate, unrelated firestorms, one as an artist pushing boundaries, and the other as a public figure performing national loyalty. If the whispers of a media ban were true, Zhou Dongyu's career after 2019 would have looked drastically different. An artist blacklisted by the powerful gatekeepers of Chinese entertainment typically vanishes. They fade from magazine covers, their television appearances cease, and major film roles dry up, replaced by a portfolio of minor, independent projects if they are lucky. They become ghosts in an industry they once helped define. Zhou Dongyu, however, did not fade. Instead, she exploded onto the screen with more force and frequency than ever before. Her career in the years following the Better Days censorship and the Burberry controversy serves as the most definitive and public rebuttal to any notion of a ban. It is a story told not in whispered rumors, but in box office receipts, prestigious awards, and a filmography that became more ambitious and impressive with each passing year. The incredible success of Better Days was the catalyst. The film that was once deemed too sensitive for public viewing became a cultural touchstone, and her portrayal of the tormented but resilient Chen Nian became the new gold standard for young actors. She was no longer just a popular movie star. She was a serious, formidable actress who could carry a difficult, emotionally heavy film on her shoulders and turn it into a commercial and critical juggernaut. This newfound prestige opened every door in the industry. Far from being sidelined, Zhou became one of the most sought-after talents in China. Directors and producers lined up to work with her, and she had her pick of the most compelling and challenging scripts. Her workload became relentless, a clear sign of an artist in high demand, not one being quietly pushed out. She dove into a diverse range of projects that showcased her incredible versatility. She starred alongside legendary director Zhang Yimou in the spy thriller Impasse, a film set during the Japanese occupation of the 1930s. This was a major, state-approved production, and her significant role in it was a clear indicator of her standing. An actress in political trouble would not be cast in a patriotic blockbuster helmed by one of the country's most revered filmmakers. She followed this with projects that took her to the heart of the international film scene. Her film, The Breaking Ice, a quiet and introspective drama, was selected for the Un Certain Regard section at the Cannes Film Festival in 2023. Her presence on the world's most famous red carpet, representing a Chinese film, was broadcast globally. It was a powerful, visual refutation of any behind-the-scenes blacklisting. You cannot be simultaneously banned at home and celebrated as a cultural ambassador abroad. Her film choices demonstrated a fearless artistic curiosity. She starred in the crime noir Fire on the Plain and the fantasy epic The Yin Yang Master, Dream of Eternity, proving she could move seamlessly between gritty realism and blockbuster fantasy. She was not just working, she was building a body of work that was both commercially successful and critically respected. Each new role seemed to dismantle the ban narrative a little more. The theory of her being in trouble simply could not hold up against the undeniable reality of her constant, high-profile presence on screen. She was the face of major advertising campaigns, a frequent guest at high-fashion events, and a constant subject of media attention for her professional achievements. Perhaps the most compelling evidence against the ban theory is her continued dominance at China's most prestigious award ceremonies. These events are often seen as industry barometers, reflecting who is officially in favor. Throughout this period of supposed trouble, Zhou Dongyu was a fixture at these galas. She didn't just attend, she won. Time and again, she took to the stage to accept awards for her performances, celebrated by her peers and the industry's most powerful figures. Winning Best Actress at the Golden Rooster Awards, China's equivalent of the Oscars, for her role in Better Days was a particularly significant moment. It was the industry's ultimate stamp of approval, a declaration that she was not just accepted, but revered. This sustained recognition from the establishment makes the idea of a concurrent secret ban completely illogical. The very institutions that would be tasked with enforcing such a ban were instead showering her with their highest honors. The story of her career during this time is one of undeniable and accelerating success. The controversy that surrounded her only seemed to fuel her ascent, transforming the whispers of a ban into a footnote in the much larger, more impressive story of a generational talent hitting her stride. An actor's work can sometimes hold up a strange, distorted mirror to their own life. The characters they inhabit, the stories they tell, and the struggles they portray on screen can echo their own real-world journeys in uncanny ways. For Zhou Dongyu, this reflection is not just a passing coincidence. It is a central, defining theme of her career, particularly during and after the period marked by controversy. The roles she chose, or perhaps the roles that chose her, are filled with women who share a common thread of quiet resilience. They are survivors, outsiders, and fighters who navigate treacherous landscapes with a strength that is often underestimated. This powerful synergy between her art and her life offers the most profound insight into her story, transforming her filmography into a testament to the very perseverance she was forced to embody. Nowhere is this parallel more vivid or gut-wrenching than in Better Days. Her character, Chen Nian, is a girl living in a pressure cooker. She is relentlessly tormented by bullies at school. While at home, she deals with the shame and difficulty of her mother's financial schemes. Chen Nian's response to this constant onslaught is not explosive anger, but a deep, simmering endurance. She pulls her hoodie tighter, keeps her eyes down, and focuses on the one thing she believes can save her: the National College Entrance Exam. She is a character who is systematically silenced, whose pain is ignored by the very authorities meant to protect her. The school turns a blind eye, and the world seems to conspire to make her invisible. This on-screen struggle of being targeted and erased became a startling metaphor for the film's own journey. Just as Chen Nian's truth was deemed inconvenient and was actively suppressed by those around her, the film's truth about bullying was deemed too sensitive by censors and was pulled from the public eye. Zhou Dongyu stood at the nexus of these two realities. As an actress, she channeled Chen Nian's silent suffering and fierce will to survive. As the public face of the film, she became linked to its controversial status and sudden disappearance. The fight for Chen Nian to have her story heard within the movie became inseparable from the fight for the movie itself to be seen by an audience. When Chen Nian finally breaks her silence, fighting back against her tormentors, it is a moment of raw, cathartic power. It is the cry of a person refusing to be erased. When Better Days was finally released and met with overwhelming public support and critical acclaim, it felt like a similar real-world roar of defiance. The film's triumph was Chen Nian's triumph. The validation of Zhou's performance through countless awards felt like a validation of her character's struggle. Art had not only imitated life, It had seemingly willed a better outcome into existence, proving that a story powerful enough and a performance authentic enough could overcome attempts to silence it. It cemented a new image for Zhou, not just as a gifted actress, but as a symbol of resilience, a quiet warrior whose strength was proven in the fight. This archetype of the resilient outsider did not end with Better Days. It became a recurring motif in her subsequent work, suggesting a deliberate artistic focus. The characters she played were rarely simple heroines. They were often complicated, morally ambiguous women searching for a foothold in an unforgiving world. In the crime drama, Fire on the Plain, she played a woman connected to a years-old murder mystery, her life defined by a past that haunts her every move. She is a character who carries secrets and navigates a world of danger with a watchful, guarded intelligence. She is once again a survivor, a person shaped by trauma, who must carve out her own path to justice or peace. This is not the loud, declarative strength of a blockbuster action hero, but something more subtle and arguably more real. It is the strength of knowing when to be silent, when to observe, and when to make a decisive move. Similarly, in The Breaking Ice, her character, Nana, is a tour guide in a bleak, frozen industrial city, emotionally adrift after a personal setback. She forms a fleeting bond with two other lost souls, and together they navigate their shared loneliness against a stark, wintry landscape. Her portrayal is one of quiet melancholy, but beneath it lies a durable core, a will to find connection and meaning even in a seemingly hopeless environment. This resonates deeply with the experience of an individual navigating the often isolating and emotionally complex world of global celebrity and political scrutiny. Her characters are often alone, yet they are never truly weak. Their power comes from their self-possession and their ability to endure the elements, whether those elements are the literal snow of a northern city or the figurative storms of social pressure and public expectation. It seems that Zhou Dongyu is drawn to these stories of perseverance for a reason. Playing these women who refuse to be broken, who find agency in impossible situations, becomes a powerful form of artistic expression. It allows her to channel the very qualities she has needed in her own professional life: tenacity, intelligence, and a profound inner strength. While the world was whispering about bans and blacklists, she was on set bringing to life characters who embodied the exact opposite of victimhood. She was telling stories of survival. In doing so, she was quietly telling her own story. The lines between the performer and the performance blur, creating a powerful feedback loop. Her real-life resilience makes her portrayals of these characters more authentic, and the strength of these characters, in turn, reinforces her public persona as an unshakable force in the industry. Her filmography has become more than a collection of movies. It is a profound and ongoing exploration of what it means to hold your ground, to keep walking through the storm, and to find your own voice, especially after others have tried to take it away. In the end, the mysterious media ban on Zhou Dongyu was never a reality. It was a phantom narrative pieced together from a censored film and a public act of patriotism. Far from being sidelined, her career soared, fueled by the very resilience she so often portrayed on screen. Her journey shows that true talent can navigate even the most treacherous political and social landscapes. Her story, mirrored in her characters, is a powerful lesson in perseverance against all odds. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content.